Hello everyone, welcome back to TinkerCAD. Today we're going to work on a 3D submarine, so let's get started. Once you've already created a new project called your project Submarine, we're going to start working on the body or the hull of the submarine. So for this we need three shapes. The first is that of a half sphere, so let's bring this out, change the height to about 15, change the dimensions at the side to be 30 by 30. Okay, and then we're going to rotate this sideways using the back rotation arrow to rest on its side at 90 degrees this way. Okay, and then we're going to raise this up to meet the work plane at 0. Okay, now the second shape of our submarine body is that of a cylinder. So let's bring this out, change the height to 50, change the dimensions at the side to 30 by 30. Okay, so this would match our hemisphere diameter. And then we're going to rotate our cylinder sideways as well using the back rotation arrow to 90 degrees. And then we're going to make sure that it rests on the work plane at 0 as well. Okay, now the last shape of our submarine body is a paraboloid. This is the tail end of the submarine. So let's change the dimensions. Height will be about 30. Dimensions at the side, 30 by 30. So basically 30 all around. Okay, this would be the same as our cylinder and our hemisphere. Okay, now rotate sideways at 90 degrees. Okay, thankfully our paraboloid is already touching the work plane, so we don't need to raise it up or down anymore. Okay, now we're going to bring these three shapes together, and how we can arrange them is to use a top view. So let's switch to a top view, and then we can very easily move the shapes to touch each other so that we can group them together. Okay, it doesn't matter if some of your shapes are cutting into the other, as long as we get the full basic shape whereby we have all shapes able to combine together without any gaps in between. Okay, so once you're happy with this arrangement, let's select all our submarine hull shapes, do a group, and we're going to set a color for our submarine. I'm going to use yellow for this case. It's entirely up to you what color you want to use. Okay, now I'm going to change back to a front view, and I'm going to work on the windows now. So for this, I'm going to bring out first a cylinder shape. This would be the glass of our windows, the inside. Change the height to be about 5. We don't need our windows to be so tall. Change the dimensions at the side. This would be about 9 by 9. I will explain soon why. Okay, and then I'm going to change the color of our inside window to be that of a light blue. Okay, so this would mimic a glass. And then we're going to work on the rim of our window now using a tube shape. So let's bring out the tube shape. Alright, change the height to be 5, same as our cylinder. Change the dimensions to be 12 by 12. Okay, the reason for it being 12 by 12 as an external diameter is so that the internal diameter is 9 by 9. This will allow our cylinder to fit in nicely. Okay, the reason why is because if I were to arrow down from our inspector tool, our thickness of our tube is about 2.5. That would be around the thickness that will allow our cylinder to fit in. Okay, so without further ado, let's change the color of our window rim. Okay, I chose a dark blue. It's entirely up to you what color you want to use. And then we're going to select both window shapes. Okay, draw a red border around both of them. And we're going to do an align. Click all the middle, side, and front dots to make sure that the windows are fit this way. Okay, once done, do a group. Okay, and we have to tick the multicolor for this case to preserve the two different colors of our window. Okay, now I'm going to rotate my view this way. I'm going to stand my windows up using the side rotation arrow, 90 degrees this way. And we're going to raise it up to a height of 10 to make sure that our windows rest on the body of our submarine hull. Okay, now we're going to fit this here now. To do this, let's change back to a top view. Okay, this will make it a lot easier for us to arrange our windows into the submarine. Okay, so once you're happy with it this way, let's do a duplicate. Okay, create a second window. This would be a good spacing. Duplicate again. Alright, and then TinkerCAD will automatically fit the third window to be the same distance away from the second and the first. Okay, now we're going to do a quick duplicate of these three windows. Let's select all three window shape first. Be careful not to touch the hull, just touch the windows. Do a duplicate, and we're going to move this second set of windows to the other end of our submarine. Okay, once you're happy with the arrangement, select your entire submarine shape, draw a red border around it. Let's do a group and just make sure that you have ticked multicolor. Okay, now this is the completed body of our submarine. Let's change view back to the front. We are going to start working on the tail of our submarine. So that comprises of our fins as well as the propeller. So let's start with the fins first. For this, I'm going to pull out a paraboloid. Okay, we're going to change the side dimensions. Click the corner dot. The side here is going to be about 10 facing us. The one at the side is going to be about 5. Okay, so the fin is going to be thin at one side. Okay, now we're going to cut off a top tip of the paraboloid fin. We're going to use a box hole shape. Bring it out to the front. Don't change the dimensions, just change the raise height. Raise it up to be about 15 so that this will cut off the top 5 mm of the paraboloid. Okay, but before that, first we have to align the shapes together. So carefully draw a red border touching just the paraboloid and the box. Select just both of them. Do an align. Okay, click the side and the front middle dots such that you have a shape this way, and then do a group. Okay, once you group, you'll see that the top tip of your paraboloid has been cut off. Okay, this is the shape that we want. Now we're going to flip this paraboloid upside down. So let's use the mirror tool. Okay, vertical arrow to flip it this way, and then we are going to duplicate the shape. Okay, so the duplicated shape is already here. We're going to raise up the duplicated copy to a height of 15. So this would rest on top of our other shape. And then we're going to flip this mirror vertical again so that it should form a flip shape. Alright, so you have something like this. Now let's group these two fins together. So I'm just going to draw a red border touching just these two fins. Okay, and then once done, do a group. Alright, now we're going to duplicate this group and rotate it forward. So let's do a duplicate first. Okay, I have a duplicated group here already. Use the side rotation arrow to rotate it forward 90 degrees so that you have a set of 4 fins like that. Okay, now let's do a final group for these two group fins. Okay, once done, let's change the color. You can choose any color you want, but I'm going to choose a yellow to match the body of the submarine. Okay? Alright, perfect. Now how to arrange this to the tail end of our submarine? Same as what we did earlier. Change your view to a top view. That makes it a lot easier for you to arrange your tail fins. Okay? So somewhere in the middle, up to you how in or out you want it to be. So once you're happy with it, you can go back to a side view or front view. Okay? Good. Now let's work on the last part of our tail of our submarine. We're going to include a propeller. So for that, we're going to use two shapes. A cylinder for the axle and a second shape that I will introduce later. For your cylinder axle, we're going to change the height. No, we're going to leave the height to be 20 because the height doesn't matter. Change the side dimensions 1 by 1. This is going to be a lot thinner because this is just the axle of our cylinder. Okay? Now let's use the second propeller shape. For this, we're going to change the category of shapes, shape generators, or let's jump to page 4. Okay, and when you scroll up, you will see that there is this shape called a radial fin shape. So this is a preset shape that someone has created. We're going to use this as the propellers. So bring this out to your work plane. Just change the height to be about 5. Okay, and once done, we're going to move our cylinder to the midpoint of our radial fin so that it fits as such. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. Around here, it's fine. Okay, and then we're going to group these two shapes together. So let's select all. Okay, make sure you touch both the cylinder and the fin. Do a group and then change the color to a color that you want. I'm going to use a dark blue color, okay, to match my window rims. Once done, I'm going to rotate this shape using the back rotation arrow to be about 90 degrees this way. And I'm going to raise it up to a height of 10 so that this will allow my axle to touch the center of my tail of the submarine. Okay, now once again, change to a top view to help you to easily arrange your propeller to fit the body of your submarine. Okay, once you're happy with the arrangement, you can go back to a normal front view. Alright, just to double check whether it's fine. Okay, so the back part of our submarine is completed. Now we're going to move on to the very last part, which is a periscope. Okay, So it's a little thing that protrudes out from the submarine this way. For that, we use two shapes. Using shape generators, we're going to jump to page 6. We're going to use this flattened cylinder shape. Okay, this is going to be the part of the periscope that joins to the body of the submarine. Okay, bring it out. We're going to change the height to be a height of 5. And we're going to change the dimensions at the side to be about 15 by 15. Okay, so a lot smaller so that it can fit nicely on top the body of the submarine. Okay, now the slanted side of our cylinder is facing the back, so we're going to just rotate it to face the right. So let's use the flat line rotation arrow to rotate 90 degrees this way. Okay, so that we start to see an oval shape facing us. Once done, we're going to pull out another shape for the main periscope. So for this, let's change the category of shapes. Let's use a featured shape generators. Okay, scroll near the top, you will see a bent pipe shape. Bring this out. This is going to be very big, but don't worry, we can resize this. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the height. So click the top dot, change it to be a height of 5, so it's going to be a lot smaller. Click the corner dot. Okay, let me just zoom out a bit. I'm going to change this side to be about 30. And then I'm going to change the side facing me to be 15. Okay, so it will be a lot smaller like this. All right, now we're going to flip the bent pipe to face the other way, face the the left side. So let's do a mirror. Rotate horizontally, facing this way. Okay, and then we're going to rotate our periscope bend pipe to stand up. So let's use the side rotation arrow. Rotate to 90 degrees. You notice that it's sinking into the ground. So let's raise it up to a height of 0. Okay, so that it's touching the work plane, same as our flattened cylinder. Okay, from here you can change a color for your periscope bend pipe. I'm going to choose the same color as my propeller. And then you can just use your arrow key, or if you're using your iPad finger, to just move your periscope together. Okay, don't forget to change your view to check whether it's nicely fit. Alright, it doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's fit nicely. Okay, now once done, we're going to group these two shapes together. So select both shapes. Okay, let's do a group. Remember to tick multicolor to preserve the two colors. And then let's raise this periscope up to a height of just under 30. So that would be about, let's do about 27. Okay, so this will allow us to fit it into the body of our submarine without jutting out. Okay, once done, change to a top view. Okay, so that it's easier for you to arrange your shapes. Alright, so somewhere in the middle like this, once you're happy with it, you can just rotate around your submarine, just double check whether you like it. Once it's good to go, you can start to take a picture of it and upload this picture on eCampus. Okay, perfect. So this is the finished submarine. Let me go through the steps how to take a photo. Click the Send To button. Click the download icon. Okay, you'll notice that the picture has been downloaded to your computer. Once done, click the Close to close this box, and then save your work by clicking the TinkerCAD icon. Okay, to return to your dashboard as well. For those working on iPad, the instructions are a bit different, so check the instructions that suit the iPad model. Okay, now have fun with your work. See you next time.